Good morning, guys. Get ready for a super exciting day because today is the senior high college fair. So that will be taking place in the gym after yellow and green.
So, juniors and seniors, after green, head straight down to the gym for the college fair. Freshmen, you guys will be going to room 103. Sophomores, you'll go to the Wiersma Center. If you're still confused, do not worry, there will be schedules posted.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey guys, here's some clarifying rules for lip sync. One, you can only have 2 groups max per grade and you need 5 people in them. It's 3 to 4 minutes long, cannot be any longer, and it has to be 2000s. Can't be 2010s or 2020. 2000, so 2000 to 2009.
Yeah, and then also regarding lip sync, you do have to stay in dress code. So no mini skirts, no short shorts, no crop tops. You will get dress coded if you get out of dress code, and there will be consequences, and you might get detention. So just be respectful of that. And then also today for junior high, you guys do have chapel today with Miss Funk. That's going to be super fun, super exciting. Get excited for that. And now on to Lauren and Faith.
Hey guys, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Faith.
And we're going to talk to you guys about the Fearless groups and the new mental health intern. Her name's Miriam, if you guys remember her talking last Wednesday in chapel. I just wanted to stress that it is so important to go and talk about just whatever you're struggling with. There's no shame in that. And her office is over at the elementary side. And if you have any questions about that, you can come talk to any of SLC and just we can answer some questions about that.
And during chapel last week, Ms. Eitzen talked about the Fearless groups, which was yesterday on Tuesday if you happen to miss it. So it's going to be happening next Tuesday as well, and every Tuesday after that for the rest of the year. I went last year to almost every single Fearless group meeting. They were so comfortable. They're so welcoming. They're super fun. If you haven't gone to one, this is a great year. You should go. There's going to be a lot more people involved in it this year, and the teachers put a lot of work into them.
Also, there are actually 2 interns from Denver Seminary that are helping over there named Sam and Claire, and they're just helping out with the Fearless group, so that's going to be super cool.
Hey guys, as most of you know, last year, Spector did an announcement about a crisis situation. Today is that day, so we're going to hear from Spector.
Yes, please respectfully pay attention to this as this is very important.
All right, hey Front Range, thanks for your attention for this video. This one is a bit different. So typically you have SLC and they're giving you announcements and that kind of stuff during this time. And this week it's not that, it's me. And I have a topic that's heavier, that is not nearly as much fun as SLC stuff, but it really matters that you get information about it. And that is intruder safety, or put different, if we were to have a crisis situation on our campus, do students know what to do? And that's really why I'm making this video, is that question. So a few things need to be said at the start, right? First, this is a heavy topic. If you have trauma in your past, or if this topic is just too overwhelming for you as I'm going through the video, then you have the freedom, right? You can come up to the front, you can take a breather or take a break. I'm not going to let that reality that some of us do have trauma in our past, and this is a very difficult topic for us, prohibit me from talking with students about what you need to do if there were an intruder or a crisis situation on our campus. So you're going to get this information, but I need those of you who need that break, I need you to know you can come up to the front and you can kind of take a minute and get a break. I'm not going to be super dramatic. I'm not going to be super heavy in how I talk about it. It just is a heavy topic. We're not going to do a dramatization. We're not going to do a simulation. We're not going to we're going to talk about it so that students know what they need to do if a crisis were to happen on our campus. Second thing that needs to be said before I even jump in is there are a lot of protocols and protective measures that are currently in place at Front Range, and we do not talk about all of them with students. And so you just need to know that, right? That we have been praised by law enforcement. We have a lot that we are doing that's behind the scenes that you probably don't know anything about. And what we need to do a better job at is talking with students, because I think students have never been told what they would need to do if a crisis were to happen on our campus. And again, that's why we're doing this video. But I need you to know that there is a lot that's already in place, and that people have thought very carefully about this, that we have sought outside counsel about it, that we have worked with law enforcement to create procedures. I mean, all kinds of stuff is underneath this that we're not going to get into in the video, and I probably would never get into with students, but you need to know it's there and feel affirmed that there are administrators and people on campus here who have thought really deeply about this stuff. But what we need to do better at is talking with students about, well, what's your role? What does it look like if something were to happen on campus? And there are probably 3 real guiding principles that I need to govern your thinking. And that really is this video. I'm not going to imagine all of the hypothetical situations of, well, if an intruder was here and if you were in the atrium, or, you know, I don't want to play through all of the hypotheticals, but I need you to know what these guiding and governing principles are, and they should govern the way that you make choices if we were to drill or if a crisis event were to occur. So, guiding principle number 1. First, our reunification site is Authentic Life Church. What that means, what that doesn't mean, all this stuff. Imagine a fire drill. When we have a fire drill, what we're really saying is get to the field. Everyone's going to exit in an orderly way, all this stuff. But you're going to go to the field because the field is not going to burn, right? The field is going to, it's not going to catch on fire. It's hard to imagine that. The building is what's unsafe because the building might be burning. So in a fire drill, we go to the field. In a crisis situation, what we're saying is that our entire campus is unsafe. There's something unsafe going on, there's an intruder or something unsafe that's happening, and you need to get off of our campus, which means that our reunification site where we are going to reunite is going to be Authentic Life Church. And when you move towards Authentic Life Church, or as you move towards Authentic Life Church, you need to know that sometimes it is not the best way there, is not the quickest way there. So depending on, again, all these different hypothetical scenarios, or where any given threat might be, or all of that stuff, where you are when something occurs, then you might choose to take the long way around. You might end up going into the ditch over here or into the neighborhood. You might end up going around the elementary building and around by King Supers to get back there. I mean, you can go any way that's safe. You have permission from me to go any way that's safe and get to Authentic Life Church. We're not going to draw routes and say, well, if you're in this room, you have to exit in this way. That's not what we do with a crisis situation. So governing principle number 1, get to Authentic Life Church. Governing principle number 2, your teacher or the adult who's around you is going to help you make judgment calls. So because of this, here's what I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine, right, you are in history with Mr. O'Melia, right? You're in history with Mr. O, and we announce over the intercom, this is a crisis situation, or that kind of thing. Instead of you just running as quick as you can towards Authentic Life Church, he is going to open the door and he's going to stick his head out and he's going to make some judgment calls. And that judgment call might be that you're going to run. It might be that you're going to hide. He's going to make some judgment calls. This is something that we as a faculty work on. We talk about, we practice, we do talk about a bunch of hypothetical scenarios, again, behind the scenes. So you need to trust some of those judgment calls that are made. And what I don't want is for you to exit the room in front of him. If you do choose, as a room, if you choose, we are going to leave the room, we're going to try to get to Authentic Life Church, then he needs to be at the front of that line, or the teacher, the adult who's with you is at the front of that line, because they are making a million judgment calls a minute type of thing. I mean, they're making so many judgment calls about the threat and the direction and the route, and they also know and have information about what to do when you get to Authentic Life Church and some of this. And so again, what I need to emphasize and what you need to hear is you do not exit the room before the teacher. Okay? If the fire alarm is going off and you believe that it's a fire, I do not want you exiting the room before the teacher. I want the teacher to be at the front of that line. And I want the teacher to help to evaluate whether or not you even exit. And that gets us to the third guiding principle. So again, number one, our reunification site is Authentic Life Church. Number two, the teacher exits the room first. Every time. Teacher exits the room first. Number three, the third guiding principle is the phrase run, hide, fight. So the idea here is that you're going to run if you can. And if you can't run, then you're going to hide. And if you can't hide, then you're going to fight. I'm not going to spend too much time on running and fighting. They're kind of self-explanatory. You're going to run if you can. So again, the teacher is going to poke their head out of the room, and they're going to make a judgment call. Is it a good idea to run, or is it a bad idea to run? And if they decide it is a good idea to run, then they're going to lead you in exiting the building the safest possible way to get to Authentic Life Church. And you stay with them, right? You stay with them. And if you're not in that class, if you are on the way to the bathroom, or if a teacher gathers you together and says, no, now you're with me, then you're with them. And that's good. I don't need you to stay with your class that you were in when something happened. I need you to get to safety. And teachers will help do that. So if you have a study hall and you're in the atrium studying and you see teachers are exiting the building, then you just jump in. You leave all your stuff and you jump in with them and you get to safety, right? So that's running. Teacher exits before you, helps determine which way to go, and helps gets you to Authentic Life Church. Hiding is the one that's really worth talking about more, because this is what we'll drill. This is what we'll simulate. So sometime in October, we will run a hide drill. And what we're really saying there is you need to do a few things. You need to get behind a locked door. You need to get low, and you need to get quiet. So if you're in the atrium, we'll go back to that. If you're in the atrium and you're studying, and we come over the intercom and say this is a crisis situation, simulate, this is a crisis drill, we're going to simulate hiding. What I don't want to happen is for you to try to hide under a table in the atrium or something. Like that's not it. You need to get behind a locked door. It matters a lot that you get behind some locked door. If it's a real crisis situation and you're in the bathroom, I need you to, I know that this is, it probably will feel like a lot of uncertainty surrounding you and where a threat is and any of that kind of stuff. I need you to try to get out of that bathroom and behind a locked door. I don't want you trying to hide in a bathroom stall or trying to hide under a table in the commons or something. You need to get behind a locked door. And there are, again, lots of reasons why this is true. We've looked at a lot of what's happened at other schools. People have thought really carefully about this. We worked with law enforcement on it. And so I'm just telling you, please, if something were to happen or if we simulate something, understand your role. That's what this video is. Your role is to hide. If you're hiding, you need to get behind a locked door. And then you get low and you get quiet. Super simple kind of stuff. You get low because it's the safest possible thing. And you get quiet because you're hiding, right? And so you don't want to draw attention to yourself. All right, I know that that's heavy. I know that that's a lot. And I know that I'm talking about it in a way that's fairly detached. What I want to do now is basically turn it over to homeroom teachers. And if you have questions, if you are confused about anything that I said, you can ask the homeroom teachers for more information or for more for advice, what I would encourage you to do, please, 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 don't turn this into the crazy hypothetical situation where you're going to imagine you as a room. Now you're going to imagine the next 12 scenarios or something. I don't think that that's all that useful. There's some use to it, and certainly we as faculty and staff, we do work through a lot of those scenarios. But you might end up wasting your time if you just ask about all these specific scenarios. What do I do if I'm in the PAC? What do I do if I'm on the field? What do you know? Instead, I would steer you students towards ask questions about these guiding principles: run, hide, fight, reunification site, teachers exit the room first. Right? Those are kind of these big guiding principles. And if you have any questions or confusion about any of that, you should ask. Right now is your time to ask. And homeroom teachers, if you get a question and you don't know the answer to it, or you think, man, I don't know if this has been thought about well enough, then capture it, bring it to me, we'll think about it, we'll get the safety team to think about it, all of those kinds of things. But this should be a time where you get to talk more about this in your homerooms for the next few minutes. The only way I can really see, the only way I can really think to end this video is to try to get you to understand, or to try to affirm again in you students, that we care so deeply about you. Man, if you have not heard it yet today, then hear it from me, that I love you and I care so deeply about you. And you need to know, while certainly, yes, the world is a broken place and there are evil people who want to do malicious things, and I think we know that, right? We see that around us in the world. You need to know that this place is filled with adults who care so deeply about you. And so if you're a student right now thinking, oh my goodness, and this topic is so dramatic or extreme or all these different things, I want that to be offset by you realizing and thinking, you don't know the links to which I would go. You just don't know the links to which I would go for you. And that is true of adults all around you right now. So realize that you are well loved. Realize that while we are an imperfect place and we have imperfect systems and all the things, this is something that has been thought about really carefully. But you do need to know what your role is. And your role might demand things of you. It might demand humility. If you really want to run and get out of a room and a teacher is saying, nope, we're going to hide, turn off the lights, get low, get quiet. It might demand courage. If you're in the atrium and it would just be more appealing to hide under a table rather than risk it and try to get behind a locked door. And what should go through your head is me on this video saying, you've got to get behind a locked door. So risk it and get behind a locked door. So know that this has been thought about. Know that you're surrounded by people who care deeply about you, and use this time to ask any questions. You can always come to me. You can always come to me and ask me any questions. I might not know the answers, or I might not give you all the answers that are in my head, but you can always come to me and ask about any of this stuff. And realize that we will drill it. In October, we will have a crisis drill in which we simulate the hide protocol, and you need to know what to do when that comes about. So that's it. Homeroom teachers, the rest of this time is yours. You can do what you need to with it and help do some Q&A or clarify some stuff, and capture things if there's stuff that I need to go back to or say different. Thank you guys again for the attention on the video. I know it's a difficult topic, and I'm thankful that you gave your attention to it. All right, thanks.